So, quick story time before I clock in or whatever. So, I want to tell y'all about a time when I was dating this guy and I had stopped talking to him because he told me that he didn't want to marry a woman with kids. So, we were dating for a solid 5 months. Like, it was great. Like, he treated me so good. Like, I was just like, oh my God, he might be the one. So I was probably like 25 at this time, and this was the biggest lesson I've ever learned being a single mom. Like, I was like, oh, I'm taking this lesson and I'm running with it. Like, I'm not running into this again. So mind you, he was a great man. Like, he was a provider. Like, he was a great man. Let me just say that. But I started falling for him, and my best friend will always be like, how do you think he feel about you having a kid? And I will always think like he know I got a kid, but I don't just bring my son around everybody. So I'm just like, he know I got a kid at the end of the day, and he knows what I want. I want marriage, and he knew that. So it's crazy because I didn't really think nothing of it at the time, because I'm like, he dated me and he's serious. I had a key to his house. I stayed at his house, like, always. So I'm thinking like, he know I got a kid, so like, why wouldn't he want to like be with me? Like, he already know, like, and he's taking me serious. So I'm like, so honestly, no, I had a dream that I asked him how he felt about marrying a woman with a kid, and he said, I don't want a woman with a kid. I'm like, and I was at his house when I had the dream. Like, we were literally sitting on the couch and I asked him this question, and in my dream he said no. So I woke up the next day and I asked him, like, I want to talk. And I asked him the question, and he was like, I don't want to marry a woman with a kid. So I'm like, what are we doing? Like, mind you, I knew him prior to even dating him. I had known him probably 2 years before. I actually gave him the time of day. So I'm just thinking like, you been knew I had a kid and you know what I want. Why are you wasting my time? So he was like, I didn't say I wouldn't make you my woman. Like, I want you to be my woman, but would I marry a woman with a kid? No. When I tell you, I left that man quicker than he could fucking blink. Then he tried to talk me into not leaving him alone. Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. Okay, I'm saying this to say, ask questions. I don't care how uncomfortable it makes you feel asking me in certain questions, but this is something else that he said. He said, you never asked me that. And I'm thinking in my head, like, you actually right. I never asked. I assumed, which is correct. So like I said, I took that as a lesson and I ran with it. Every single person that comes into my life that want to date me, that's one of the first questions I ask. Not, could you be with a woman with a kid? Could you marry a woman with a kid or kids or whatever the case may be? And that right there, it'll just save you all the time, the feelings, all the clarity you need, and get going.
I want to get on here and talk about something. I exposed myself the other day, and I was raw and I was vulnerable. I admitted that sometimes I don't know if I'm going to find love because of my younger son. But when I said that, I've had men telling me, oh, you're probably right. You're probably not going to find a man because no one wants to take care of other children that aren't theirs. That's fine. And I respect that, and I understand that, because I would never want to be anybody's burden. That is part of the reason when men look at me and they tell me smile, or they tell me, why are you so cold, ma? Why are you walking around so hurt? Why are you so numb? Why are you so dry? Why are you this and that? It's because of that. Because if I'm nice, or if I'm sweet, or if I am smiling and all giggles, men take that as flirting. They take that as being interested in them, and under the same breath, oh, she's pretty, she's beautiful, I just want to get with her, but she's not good enough to wife up because she has 3 children. Make that make sense? So when I close my heart, don't ask me why my heart is closed. Don't ask me to open my heart. Don't ask me. In order for me to survive this life, I have to close my heart when it comes to love. I can't sit there and keep holding on to a fairy tale. Love no longer exists the way it used to. I'm not dumb. So when people wonder why my heart is closed, or people wonder why I'm not open to the idea of love, it's because I already know my decisions in life took that opportunity of love away from me, and I'm mature and grown to accept that, because the last thing I would want is to get involved with another man that's going to destroy my family and my children. I don't want to be with another man that's going to destroy my heart. So I would rather be cold, dry, and have my heart closed. I'll still love life. I'll still love my children. I'll still love God. I'll still love everything that this world has to offer. But when it comes to this, I know already, trust me. I've already been scarred and traumatized way too many times to still keep holding on to a fairy tale that I know is never going to happen. It's just not. Especially when I know who my younger son is, especially when I know his condition, his disabilities. No, I can't even take that chance. I can't take that risk. Because my children come before men. My children come before anybody. I told myself that I wouldn't be my father or my mother. I told myself. So when you ask me, or when you see me in the street, or when you wonder, why are you the way you are? Why are you in and out? Why do you love so much, but then when someone approaches you with love, you close your heart? It's because I know what I come with. I know my own baggage. I know the chaos that I could possibly come with, and I'm not here to disturb anybody's life. Like, absolutely not. Not a selfish woman, but this is the reality of the situation. Like men have to stop telling women, oh, you shouldn't close your heart, you know, love is out there, someone's gonna love you and accept you for you. But then talking crap about single mothers. Like, be realistic. You can't do both. You can't sit there and look at women like me and say, oh, you know, keep having hope, keep having faith that love is out there, leading me on, making me believe that you're interested in me, and then ghosting me because you're just like, I don't want to be responsible for another man's kids. Just leave me alone. Let me be numb. Let me walk through life cold. There's more to life than a relationship. And you know what? At one point, I believed in it. At one point, I wanted it. At one point, I truly wanted it so bad. Like many other women out here who fucked up and made a mistake. Who, you know, really believed that the right thing to do was to have a family. You know, thinking that you were going to have the right family with the right man, thinking that your marriage was going to last, you guys were going to grow old, you guys were going to, you know, do it all, you know? You didn't think that you were going to be abandoned. You didn't think you were going to be cheated on. You didn't think that your children were going to come out autistic. You didn't think that your parents were going to be there to help you during one of the biggest milestones of your life. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I see social media all the time. I get it. But when you wonder why, when you wonder why, as long as my daughter finds love in this world and my boys, I'll be happy. As long as my children find love in this world, I'll be happy. As long as they learn from my mistakes, I'll be happy. As long as I can be the best mother that I can be, I'll be happy. As long as I have God, I'll be happy. As long as I break these generational curses, I'll be happy. I made mistakes, and I take accountability for all of them. I do. I really do. But trust me, I'm not naive and I'm not stupid.
This is going to sound crazy, but I don't want my children back. It's not because I don't love them. I love them so much. I love them wholeheartedly. I love them beyond comprehension. But I don't want my children back. And I feel like I had to come over here because you guys are so sweet. And my DMs and my comments giving me reassurance that, oh, they're going to come back. They're going to, everything's going to work out and stuff like that. And I believe you. Like, everything is going to work out. However, I don't want them children back. And it's not because I don't want to take care of them or anything like that. I love taking care of them. I love raising them. But I don't want them back for another set of reasons. One, I don't have a support system. I have been raising these children with no support system. And when I say no support system, I'm not even joking. I don't have an emergency contact. When I take them to the doctor, I don't have an emergency contact. I don't have friends. I don't have family. I don't have, like, I take care of everything by myself. I don't have that. Okay? So that's one. Imagine me, one person, taking care of 3 children by myself with no support system, not even for an emergency contact. That's one. Second, I was manipulated into having my children. I was 9 months pregnant on my 21st birthday, and their dad was 33. Granted, I knew he was 32. I knew he was 12 years older than me when I met him. Or at least, like, in getting to know him, I knew he was 12 years older than me. But at 19 years old, I did not have the mental capacity and understanding to assess and realize that I was being manipulated into having children prior than I wanted to. So it was never my plan to have children at the age of 21. My plan was to finish college and go to law school. And by the time I got my bachelor's degree, my son was 6 months old. And I found myself, like, putting off law school because I didn't want anybody else to raise him. I was manipulated into having those children. Third, which kind of goes with the second one, is one of the ways that this man manipulated me into having these children was using the whole line that, oh my gosh, she's the only person with his last name, and if he dies, the last name's going to go with him. I don't know why that was enough. But then again, I was extremely naive at the time. I was coming from so much abuse, so much trauma. I didn't know up from down, sky to ground, like whatever. So he was able to use that. And with that being said, I feel like if you want to continue your legacy, if you want to prolong your legacy, then take care of the children. Because over the last however long, this man have not contributed an increment of energy towards the well-being of the boys. Like, no financial support, no physical support, no nothing. But he wanted those children to be able to prolong his legacy. Why would I continue the legacy of a deadbeat? The only I don't even want to deal with this man, because right now he is on my phone. He's playing on my phone. I don't even know why he's playing on my phone, because, like, you have the children. You wanted the children. I took them to you. You have their birth certificate. You have their social. You have them physically. There is no reason why you should be playing on my phone, but you're playing on my phone. Because at the end of the day, it was never about you having the children. It was about you having access to me. It was about you being able to get in contact with me. And I don't have time for that. Because this man is abusive. He's not physically abusive because I beat his ass. I fight back. But he realized early on in the relationship that I had been through a lot, but I wasn't one of those people that went through a lot of stuff and became cold. I went through a lot of stuff and then grew in empathy. So because of that, my ability to empathize have been used as a weapon against me since the time that I met this man. Because one of the ways that he used it in the beginning was to use his mother's death as a way to connect. So I went as far as to even ask, like, because when I say I don't want to deal with this man anymore, like, I've been trying to erase any type of connection that we may have. Of course, I can't erase the children, but anything else I've been trying to erase. I set boundaries. I block him. He find ways to get on my stuff. I, at some point, thought about signing my rights over just so I never had to communicate with this man ever again. And I told the judge that. Because I am not going to change who I am for anybody. I am not going to harden my heart because someone like this want to try to weaponize my empathy or want to try to weaponize the fact that I have compassion. So I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to harden So I will just remove your access. So yeah, no, I don't want them children back. Like, I love my children. They will never need for anything. But the only way that I will go back to raising my children, and in a way that makes sense to me, is if one, I never have to interact with this man again. Two, I changed the children's last name.
As a mom, a single mom at that, I never feel comfortable to be just living my life, doing extravagant things for myself, luxury things for myself, traveling, buying luxury goods and items, if my son is not fully and equivalently well taken care of. Like, and it's also just something about being a single mom. You do have a little bit more fire under you. You do. Everything I do is for my child. I will get my hair done at the end of the middle towards the end of the month, because I need to make sure that my son is hair is done. He's well grown. He has all the things that he needs. I will go without. I'm not going to say, in the past, I have spent my last on my child, but these days we rebuking brokenness and financial limitations. So I'm not going to say that I will go broke these days. I just power of the tongue. And the biggest thing as a parent, I do not want my son to grow up and say, this bitch really was in Miami twerking and I need school shoes. Like, no. We not doing that.
Being a single mom is not the flex that you think it is. Yeah, we're strong. Yeah, we hold it down, and yeah, we do what we gotta do because we fucking have to. Because you know what? If we don't do what we gotta do, we get our kids taken away. When I start seeing people like in my single mom era, or something that has to do with being a single mom and it being like a flex, it's not the flex you think it is. This shit is so fucking ghetto. This shit is real pain to the chest. Not just because of you and your situation, but because of your kids. Because you know that this is going to affect your kids. I'm a single mom. And it wasn't until I was a single mom that I learned on many lessons that I should have learned a long time ago. It becoming a normal thing, it's so fucking sad. It just makes me so sad for the kids. It makes me so sad for everyone involved. Like, people think this is the flex. Oh, you're a boss, babe. Or you're this, you're that. Babe, I don't want to be this. I have no choice but to do this because I decided to not pay attention to what the fuck I was doing. Because a feel-good moment was going to be a life-changing event for me. And although I love my daughter, and if it wasn't for her, I would have learned so many things that I should have learned. It shouldn't have taken me to this point for me to learn what I needed to learn. It shouldn't have. Either way, I would have met her and with any person, because that soul was meant for me, no matter what. This shit is not what you think it is. And yeah, we're built for this shit, but we have no choice.
You know what's funny to me? Being a mom isn't fucking optional. We don't have the fucking choice. Every day that we wake up, we have to be a parent to our kid. No matter what. No matter what the fuck we feeling like, our mental health, our financial status, nothing. It doesn't matter what's going on. We wake up every day having to be a fucking mother to our kid. But with you niggas, that shit is optional. Especially when a bitch is involved. You niggas start dealing with bitches and don't give a fuck about y'all responsibilities no more. You want to do this or you want to do that, and you put that shit before your kid. And that's crazy to me. And what's even more annoying about that whole situation is, let us, as women, as mothers, let us take shit into our own hands and try to hold you accountable by taking away courtesy shit that we was doing for y'all when we never even had to. We take away that shit and we start going by the book. Start putting you on child support. Start doing all that shit. Making you get a schedule through the courts. Now we petty. Now we miserable baby mamas. Now it's that. Never the fucking case, because y'all literally pushed us to that. Like, so what do y'all expect us to do? Should we just deal with it? We just, oh well, as long as he around, fuck it. Let him do what the fuck he... No. I'm not here to babysit for you and let it be convenient for you when you feel like being a fucking father to your kid. That's not why I'm here. I'm not doing it, and I don't give a fuck what nobody think, because the shit is fucking sad. Why do you think somebody else should have to parent your kid until you fucking feel like it? I'm not here to pick up your responsibility until you're ready to, because you don't feel like it, or you got other shit to do. No, nothing else is a priority before my kid. I don't give a fuck what it is. That's just me, and I stand on those type of principles. If I feel like I wouldn't do the shit, I'm not fucking with you if you do it, because I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all are not gonna like me for this, but I don't care. There's a lot of dialogue around single moms right now, and you bitches are mean. I was sick last week, so I didn't speak on it, but there's a lot of conversation. I guess a girl is 21 with 3 kids, and she's talking about how she's overwhelmed, overstimulated, doesn't have a village. Like, she's sharing her actual experience that she's living in right now. And the amount of women that are making videos and in comment sections calling her and women like her losers, dummies, just condescending and nasty needs to be studied, for one. But for two, it made me realize women specifically in the realm of motherhood and people period, for real, they always speak from their place of privilege. Whether that privilege is money, family support, resources, education, intellect, people always speak from their place of privilege. I'm a statistic. I was 16 and pregnant. I am 31 with 3 children. I was emancipated at 16 years old. I had to drop out of high school to have my son. I had to work. Yeah. I've lived in the projects with the clotheslines. I've lived in the raggedy ghetto-ass apartments. I'm in $1 million house. All praise be to God. But I understand my privilege, and I'm grateful for the people that helped me get here. And it was not very many of them. I see also a lot of people saying, oh, well, y'all gave these men these kids and pick wrong, choose better, Baby, poverty is also a physical manifestation, but oftentimes it's generation. People are so complex, and most of y'all speak from a super dense place, but humans are complex. The girl, whether she got 3 kids and 3 babe, or the girl who has 3 kids by a man who was abusive, don't you think there's some psychology that happened to her? Again, you may have come from a healthy situation. Your mother may have taught you. Your father may have taught you. That is privilege, babe. Okay? It just really behooves me, because a lot of women making these videos on the women who are sharing their actual experience, y'all couldn't walk 10 minutes in the shoes of that woman. Your privilege doesn't allow you to. Since a lot of y'all have your degree in judgment, get your degree in each one, teach one. Get in the field. Since you know it all, you got it all figured out, great. Spread the wealth and go help another woman. Because at the end of the day, after you've made your video judging and talking about her and calling her all types of stupid bitches and dummies, she's still in her situation. And then y'all be the first ones crying on these apps like, once a mom commits suicide or takes her and her children out, y'all are like, oh, it's so... Get in the field.
I ain't gonna lie, this I regret having kids trend is crazy to me, because it's mostly y'all with multiple kids. Like, I just feel like, how many kids did it take for you to realize you really didn't want a mama that hard? Like,
see, it's not because of what you think it is. See, y'all think y'all being very white and black about it. It's some women are robbed of the true experience of motherhood because they're dealing with, you can have a man, you can have a child, multiple kids with one man, and they're making up and leave you tomorrow. Y'all, he could be the perfect man for the, first 5 kids, and then the next day he don't want to be a father no more. And so that's why a lot of women feel like they're robbed of the true motherhood experience that they want, especially with a partner, a supportive partner, because it's just not white and black anymore. Not just that, most of the time there's no village nowadays. Nowadays it's always, you had those kids, so you take care of your own damn kids. Then let's not talk about how many women scream out for help, cry for help, from the baby daddy, from the family members, from a friend, from somebody before they get to this stage of their lives, feeling like they hate motherhood, and nobody comes up and helps them, right? But instead, they get on here and they tell how they feel, and they instantly get judged because, nobody told you to have all them kids if you know you can't handle them. The mom and dad can have, they probably just didn't want to work out anymore. And the daddy felt like the mama was too much of an issue. So he cut ties with the mother and decided he wanted to be on child support. The man could be dead. Like, the husband could be dead. The baby daddy could be dead. Or you just never know why people feel the way that they feel about motherhood. That's all I'm saying. Most men don't even know how to deal with postpartum depression. They might not even have the balls to actually stick around and deal with their woman for that long. Or not deal, but, be there for that woman for that long while they go through this postpartum depression. Or the man could have cheated on the woman and the woman decided that she's not going to deal with this shit anymore. And she's going to put herself first. And it's too late because, they don't have 5,500 kids together. Again, just don't judge a book by its cover. But one thing I would never understand is, I can understand why you would say it from this perspective. Why would you have multiple baby daddies with different men if you hate motherhood? Now that I can understand, because I have one baby daddy and he is more than enough for me. I'm not having kids with nobody else, and I'm not having any more kids, period. All right, especially not what I've been dealing with, just, from everything that I've been going through.
A lot of men are starting to run into women that don't want any more kids, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of men do not know what it requires from a woman to have a child, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, financially. Even for my women that are one and done, men expect women to carry a baby 9-10 months, still work throughout that time of carrying a child, to also bear that child and do the 6 weeks and get right back to work. Under no circumstances would I be having a baby and returning back to work 6 weeks, especially if I had another child. That would make my second child because I already have one. Under no circumstances I would be doing that. Even if my doctor cleared me and everything was fine, I just simply would not be doing that. Men do expect that, and I think they want you to do more. Even if you can handle it, they still want you to do more than what you should be doing. And a lot of men, nothing really changes for them after a woman has a baby. Like, a lot of men are not doing the legwork. A lot of men continue to work and come home and be served. Not all men, but a lot of men do. Only thing that might change, they might change a few diapers. They might feed here and there, but nothing really changes. They're not doing drop-offs at daycare, pickups at daycare. They're not scheduling the appointments. They're not taking the child to they're not doing that. It's the woman that is doing that. And imagine a woman that has multiple kids doing that on top of taking care of her other children. Women have been doing that for so long just because that's just what they do, but no woman is signing up to do that anymore. I think we're pretty much done with that. That's why a lot of men are running into women that are one and done, or they might have a couple kids and they simply don't want any more. That's why. Nobody's doing that anymore.